For NFTs, before you did this and be able to do this, I think NFTs are great for artists, but
sure.
What was the largest amount of money you sold a piece of work for?
$100, because it's sort of like I wasn't trying to sell work like that. It just generally people didn't do it that much. They weren't as excited about it.
NFTs. With trading volumes of billions of dollars in 2021 and a growth of over 210x in 2020, dozens of celebrities jumping in, such as Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Steve Aoki, Gary Vaynerchuk and many others, they have been top of mind for millions of people around the world, making thousands of millionaires overnight. But what is an NFT? NFT stands for non-fungible token. So let's start simply and explain what fungible means. Something fungible are simply goods that have identical value. If you hold a $1 bill and another person also holds a $1 bill and you swap both bills, both of you would still hold the same value. If you lend your car to your friend Bill, you wouldn't be happy if he returned you a different car. At a basic level, an NFT is simply a digital asset that links ownership to unique physical or digital items such as works of art, real estate, music, or videos.
NFT, never forget to pass it. Quickest way to get your motherfucking ass kicked.
When thinking of NFTs, it's best to divide them into two categories. You can have individual NFTs or NFTs that are part of a larger collection. For individual NFTs, Beeple's Every Days, the first 5,000 days and even Clock by Pac have sold for an astounding $69 million and $52 million US respectively. For NFTs that are part of a larger collection, we can have Bored Apes or CryptoPunks, which are some of the biggest names that you probably have heard of. If you have liked the content so far, please like and subscribe the video. Thank you so much. Minting an NFT that is part of a large collection is arguably the most exciting part for most collectors. They patiently await for the date and time of the mint and finally click the mint button.
Twitter. So you gotta go to the Twitter page. Damn, I should've hit auto approval as well. So I'm minting one. There you go, I did get one. Pretty cool, because I actually got a...
It is then that they pay for the collectible and get the randomly generated token back on their wallets.
I minted another top 10% NFT. So Luminator rank 342.
Which they can then, hopefully, sell for a larger amount.
Well, I sold this picture for $542,000. I've made over $300,000 in gains with pictures of dogs.
Let's take a look at my bio pill. Okay, so I bought this NFT for 0.15 ETH, which at the time was about $540 US. And today I have legitimate offers for this pill for over $1,100. Guess who's gonna be buying more NFTs down the road?
My dad gave me $300. I invested in this NFT.
You might remember the age-old idea, buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
In the case of these NFTs, hitting a very rare token of the Bored Ape out of a 10,000 token collection and simply waiting 1 year, it would easily be sold for millions of dollars. In contrast, the price of each token at launch was a huge difference of 0.08 Ethereum or $194 US in 23 of April of 2021. When there's an expectation of being able to mint and then sell the tokens for a higher amount, either due to confidence in the leader of the project or business, or simply due to euphoria and speculation, you can intuitively guess that large amounts of people are going to try to mint as fast as possible before it sells out.
And I have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, Pac is the reason why I'm buying into Merge.
Hurry up, you hear me? And get on down there to that NFT thing. If you buy this roach, you can come to California to the compound. We can make our own roach, if you know what I mean.
However, as it happens in the Magic the Gathering cards, Pokemon cards or even Yu-Gi-Oh cards, most aren't rare, and if the project doesn't get any visibility, losses can easily be incurred. While there are definitely chances of making money out of minting and selling, or buying and reselling NFTs, you don't keep all the money out of your sales, whether you win or lose. In reality, both the owners of the project and the marketplace, such as OpenSea or Magic Eden in Solana, take a percentage of any sale, effectively acting like a casino collecting rake, like what happens in poker. And although most decide to set them at a lower rate between 2.5 and 10%. This makes it even harder to be able to profit from reselling later, as essentially both the owners and the marketplaces, the house, are consistently siphoning money out of the holders. As most NFT projects don't generate revenue from other avenues, whether it be by providing services or selling products, most essentially they require new buyers and money coming in. And with no profit redistributing, this leaves buyers holding the bags and losing money most of the time. Intuitively, we can ascertain that the owners of the different projects are usually the real winners, as marting and generating the 10,000 collection is generally relatively inexpensive, while upon selling out, some projects can make millions of dollars immediately and keep generating money from royalties indefinitely. While new money keeps coming in from new buyers and speculators, there is always going to be an incentive to create new collections. But what happens when this cycle breaks and stagnates? What happens if the project owner decides to make multiple projects at the same time and neglect the previous ones? There is going to be less money in the ecosystem to mint and buy, so there are going to be less profits going around, which in turn is going to lead to a diminishing expectation of returns by part of the holders, which can make projects not sell out all of their pieces. This can lead owners to lose money on their investments, and also they can abandon the projects way more easily. So what happens when the owners abandon the project? This is called a rug pull, either by not fulfilling their promises, which would be a soft rug, or by being straight up scammers and simply vanishing immediately, leaving the buyer with nothing at all, or even stealing money directly from the buyers, which would be called a hard rug. So out of curiosity, I've compiled a list of some of the biggest rugs that have happened. Knowingly, I might have missed some of them, so if you know of bigger ones, make sure to let me know in the comments.